There are still millions of people who think that voting is irrelevant to their lands, or they think that voting would make a difference, or they think the system is rigged, so why bother? Or maybe they feel overwhelmed. Like the issues are too complicated, and the politics is just too ugly. So just gonna get involved. Some folks real busy, You're like, hey, I got so much on. I'm just gonna get my kids to daycare. If I can get maybe get some sleep. It's feel like they have for anything else in their lives, and trust me, I get it. I get being busy, and I definitely get feeling frustrated. Cause believe me, I am first to hands too. I am sick of all the chaos and the nastiness of politics. It's exhausting, and frankly, it's depressing. Yes. So I understand when to center all around and just go on a string and live your life. Take care of your family in peace. But here's the problem where some folks are fresh faded into town and staying home on election day. Trust me, other folks are showing up. The market scene continues with their rebounding. They're voting in every action from city council to governor and president. Because the folks are voting know the impact of the leaders that the impactor that they were supporting of their lines. And those sheriffs stuck for your leg. These decide how our sticks are policed. The school board members we vote on determine how our kids' schools are run. The mayors we send the city hall, they can fix the controlling road in the public perception system or not. The folks too represent us on calendars, pass laws, and everything from job creation to when we go to war. And those are just the candidates on the ballot. This November across America, there are also what I know is missions, and everything from supporting housing for governments, whether we come on with renewable energy, to improving facilities for sinking citizens to those things on the ballot. And the people who show what to the polls. There's no people who will decide what happens and everything in its positions. So anyway, when you think about it, not voting is like letting your grandma pick your clothes out. No offense to grandma. My mom is with me today. And we love grandma. I love the grandma comes to visit. I love spending the time with her. I love dinner cry and the chicken. But how many people here, especially if there was you the one to 30, want your grandma to decide to innovate the clothes? How many of you could drive the car and then grandma choose you to drive? Or live in an apartment of furniture that grandma picked out for you? All jokes aside. My point being, I'm being funny, is that not many of you would want somebody who's not you, not to live in the same spaces that you don't see the world in the same way. Living with you where you love film, you would let him that forward. Because that grandma's food is for you and the choice you make for yourself. But grandma thinks as if you is necessarily what you think is good for you. With all the love and accord. And you certainly would know that some grandma stranger is a street somewhere. Somebody who don't know anything about your life. Someone who doesn't care about you, doesn't understand, doesn't know it. And ask that person pick your doctor. Or whether can that person figure out what if they cares to the one the water you're drinking is clean? You wouldn't expect somebody else to take care of your stuff. But when you don't vote, and that's the thing I don't understand, when you vote, what you don't, what you don't. You're letting other people make some really good decisions about the life you're gonna live, the craze you're gonna live after. It's gonna work out for you. You just stand. You do it. And you may not what they decide. You may like living with the consequences of other people's choices. But that's what happens to stay home. You certainly put in your future in the hands of others. And the truth is, that's exactly what some fools are hoping that you do. And they're hoping that you just let them make their own decision for you. Just sit back, let me figure stuff for you. There are people right now who are making it harder to vote. But we have to kind of sit with that for a moment because you gotta ask it, well, and that's democracy. Whatever anybody was going to the party wouldn't make it harder for people to participate in democracy. But that's happening right now in all of the places. They're closing bouts for polling places. They make it harder for volunteers to get people registered and fun in all kinds of ways to keep you in home. Could be that way those change. You just give up and just think of voting is just too hard. That'll take hours of your time. That bring requires some special skills and expertise you don't have. That's what they want. And you can see how that's gonna take this construct make because people start feeling like this is just too hard for me. We all know someone who feels like that's okay, like corner support. We all know someone who thinks that way. An uncle, a neighbor, someone you grew up with. And that's why you're here today. Because we know that it's gonna be active facts like of us when you got a Sunday for a matter like this. To help those posed up. To help tell the truth about voting. And the truth is that registering with a vote just isn't hard. It doesn't take long, it's just a few minutes. And once you register minutes, including here in the bottom, you can vote by mail. I do that all the time. I vote by mail in my house. And my ML jeans and my Snickers, stuffing where I'm not brushed, not gotten over. Fill out the table at the bottom and the kitchen table, just drop it in the mail, it works. It's just that easy. And voting in person can be just as fast effects. In 2016, the average length the time was waiting at a line at the polling president is 11 minutes. Just 11 minutes, much nervous, right? Some places it was even shorter than that. Let's think about this being 11 minutes on your phone. Watching video on a given day. You spend 11 minutes shooting the Instagram filters. To text your boo, right? So the thing we have to tell ourselves is we have like 11 minutes to do a lot of stuff. And we have 11 minutes to do stuff that nothing for their lives and we 11 minutes to vote. And trust me. And here's something I just want to make sure people understand. Voting does not require any kind of special expertise. You don't need to be headphone facing to wait to be clarified clo. You don't have to read every news article to qualify the vote. You know what you need to before the vote? You need to be a citizen, We need to be a part of this country. You need to have opinions about the issue in the community. That is what qualifies you to vote. Caring about your kids' future qualifies you to be a voter. When it gets set, you have the president that schedule qualifies you to be a voter. So don't be intimidated. Have everybody inside from being a part of this process. I've been voting since I was 18 years old. And trust me, I didn't know nothing about nothing at 18 years old. Right? But we do know is what you care about. For the young people, have a voice. You do have opinions about what goes on that qualifies you to vote. And it is not that hard. Plenty of folks of all ages are registering to vote for the very first time, and that should be a source of that time. You know, it should be as important as getting a driver's license. Yeah, right? So, those young people really want to have a say about what goes on in her neighborhoods, and they know it's time for change. That's how folks all this country making change their communities. Just to give you an example, there's a low Camry in the Missouri Bow Camry. There were families struggling to get a shelter and mental health care in middle. Hundreds of families requesting funds was dispersed for their kids. The resources were there. So the facts and boarding have given together with the governor the fund children and mental health care. They have signatures they needed to get their mission the bell and then they get out and vote 'em. It's a day just a few years later and go county. We go counseling for kids who need it. We have mental house screening for every child in that county. And they're training teacher and try your address to get us poor kid with a mental health challenges. And this all happened because folks now one county in one part of the station with their kids deserve better. And they know that their vote was the way to make it happen. So don't let anybody tell you that that vote doesn't matter. Those folks are involved back and push it down. They're second, my God, this is awful. Our kids are being treated with shame. Everything was so hopeless. This not stay home. They couldn't on that. But they realize it's actually the other way around how the market work. The only way to mistake mystery is getting with the vote for a tune you're looking for. And they showed up and vote. Things happen. And the same thing can happen everywhere in this country. That's how changed in America.